The Manila Electric Company or Meralco will slash its rates this month. Monoxon tells us why.
Consumers will get a temporary reprieve amid spiking prices of goods and services as Meralco rates are set to go down this October. In an advisory, Meralco says they will implement a 9 centavo per kilowatt-hour reduction in the generation charges. This translates to a 19 peso slash in the October billing of those consuming 200 kilowatt-hours per month, while those using 500 kilowatt-hour will save almost 50 pesos. Meralco says the rate reduction is brought about by the good performance and minimized maintenance shutdown of power plants in the midst of a weakening peso and surging fuel prices.
In general, kapag mas maganda yung takbo ng mga power plant, kung tatakbo sila ng 24 hours a day for one whole month versus yung patay sindi sila over a month, mas mababa ang presyo kapag tuloy-tuloy ang takbo nila.
60% of energy that Meralco purchases is from the Malampayan natural gas facility, while a small portion comes from diesel-powered plants. But despite the power rate reduction, jeepney driver Marlon Balagtas still laments the high price of petroleum, which takes a chunk of his daily earnings.
Mababa ka kuryente, ano naman magagawa natin sa kuryente ay ang diesel naman ang inaano natin. Tumataas na tumataas, dapat tagalin nila yung tinatawag na trend law para magbaba yung diesel kasi kami wala na kami kinikita.
Oil firms have announced that another round of price hike will take effect Tuesday. 1 peso per liter for gasoline and 1 peso and 45 centavos for diesel. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Pasig City.
Consumers will have a guide on the proper pricing of commercial rice in local markets. Here's why from Aiko Miguel.
The Department of Agriculture, together with the Department of Trade and Industry and the National Food Authority, is set to release a suggested retail price for rice before the end of October. The DA is set to convene rice traders, millers, and farmers groups by next week to discuss how much will be the SRP for the country's staple.
It's not really price control, no? But we're setting, kasi pag sinabing price control, talagang hindi ka nakagalaw dyan. Pero ito, moving kasi yung SRP. It's a moving price level. Depende sa presyo ng bigas sa merkado.
Also, rice variety will be labeled with their respective classification. Secretary Piñol says they will now have only 4 classifications for rice in the markets, which will be the regular milled rice, the well-milled rice, the whole grain head rice, and the special rice. He adds that the government will be the one to classify and issue a certification for the variety of special rice such as the dinurado.
It all actually boils down to deception and mislabeling. When it is not really dinurado, why label it dinurado so that you can sell it for a higher price? When it is not really sinandoming, why label it sinandoming so that you can command for a better price?
The DA and the NFA will conduct a regular inspection in markets to check against overpricing and incorrect weights of retailed rice.
Because it has been discovered that many of the sacks of rice sold are actually less 1 kilo or less 1/2 kilo. Kasi siyempre pag 49 kilos lang, ipapasa ng retailer yun sa consumer, tataasan niya yung presyo.
Meanwhile, by mid of 2019, the DA plans to include in the label the origin of the rice variety and its period of harvest. The DA hopes that before the end of October, the price of imported rice will drop to 38 pesos per kilogram, while the price of locally produced rice will also drop to 39 pesos to 44 pesos per kilogram. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Metro Manila Development Authority announces that malls in the metro will implement new operating hours starting next month. The agency will also suspend some projects of utility agencies this holiday season. Joan Nano tells us why.
Beginning November 5, 2018 up to January 14, 2019, mall operators in Metro Manila will open their respective malls at 11 in the morning and close at any time after 9 p.m. According to the Metro Manila Development Authority, mall operators have agreed in a meeting to open their malls an hour later than the current opening time of 10 a.m. to minimize road traffic in time for holiday season. Apart from mall hour adjustment, the MMDA and mall operators also agreed to limit the delivery of goods during 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. to avoid traffic congestion during daytime. Mall sale will only be allowed during weekends. The adjusted mall hours cover shopping centers along EDSA, C5 Libis, Marcos Highway and Commonwealth Avenue.
Sabi ko isang oras malaki yan. Kung sabi nga nila kung 500 na kotse pumapasok during opening, 15 malls, that's 7,500 vehicles. And then nasa 2,000-3,000 atang empleyado nila. Times 15, that's 45,000 ang nawala, ang dapat makikipagsabayan during rush hour.
Mall operators also agreed to deploy additional security personnel to facilitate long lines of vehicles going inside mall parking areas that cause gridlock, to strictly implement proper loading and unloading zones, and to conduct anti-colorum operations within the mall's vicinity.
It affects also, no, but if this is our contribution to the traffic situation in the coming holiday season, why not?
The MMDA will also temporarily suspend the excavation of some utility projects such as Maynilad and Meralco to minimize road traffic this holiday season. Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Makati City.
Some senators call on the Department of Transportation and the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board to not hasten the PUV modernization program. Meanwhile, LTFRB commits not to strip franchises off of PUVs, particularly jeepney operators who will not be able to meet the transition of modernization program deadline in March of 2019. Nel Maribohok tells us why.
Senator Bamakino filed a bill which will be known as PUV Modernization Bill. The bill seeks to expand the transition of the implementation of the government's modernization program to 5 years.
Baka naman pwede nating i-extend yung period of transition. Baka pwedeng baguhin yung ating standard na imbis na bagong unit. Standards po yung ibigay natin sa mga jeepney driver at operator.
During the Senate hearing, the transport sector opposed the said program of the government anew. Apart from the questionable quality of the modernized jeep, the operator said that they will not be able to afford the monthly amortization.
Kaya lang kami tumututol dahil hindi po namin kaya. May ayuda pang binibigay ang gobyerno. Pinag-uusapan pa natin ngayon na meron naman tinatawag na mga mura na halaga.
LTFRB meanwhile commits that they will consider the request of the senators and the transport sector. According to LTFRB Chairman Martin Delgra, they will not strip the jeepneys operators who will not meet the March deadline of the transition program under the PUV modernization of their franchises.
Can we get a commitment na pagdating ho ng Marso, wala hong matatanggalan ng prangkisa?
That commitment is set today, but obviously on how we're going to move forward to carry out that commitment, we will have to discuss that.
Based on the transition program, the jeepney operators have until March 2019 to convert their business into corporate or cooperatives. According to Senate Committee on Public Services Chairperson Grace Paul, the government is not ready to implement the PUV modernization program.
Wala silang konsultasyon. Basta labas ng memo circular na hindi pa naman sila handa. Ang malinaw, ang gobyerno ay hindi pa handa na i-phase out ang lahat ng mga public utility vehicles na non-compliant dun sa modernization requirement nila dahil hindi nga malinaw kung ano yung mga requirements nila eh.
The committee will continue its hearing regarding the implementation of the said program. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
Majority of Filipinos believe that President Rodrigo Duterte's state of health is a public matter, according to the latest survey of the social weather stations. The survey was released after Duterte went to Hong Kong this weekend to spend time with his family. Victor Cosare tells us why.
After undergoing a series of medical tests, President Rodrigo Duterte has confirmed his illness. Barrett's esophagus have worsened because of his drinking habit. The president also voiced out the possibility of him having a cancer and assured he will inform the public about his condition once the test results are out.
It got worse. I don't know where I'm now physically, but I have to wait for that. But I would tell you that if it's cancer, it's cancer. And if it's third stage, no more treatment. I will not prolong my agony in this office or anywhere.
A survey recently released by the Social Weather Station states that 61% of Filipinos believe that President Duterte's state of health is a public matter. That's why the public should be informed of everything about this. 45% also believes that Duterte has health problems. 26% have said Duterte is not facing health woes, while 29% were undecided about the issue. The SWS also found that 55% of Filipinos are worried and 44% are not too worried that the president will have health problems. 33% also said that the president's health is a private matter and the public does not need to be informed about it. The survey was conducted on September 15 to 23 among 1,500 respondents.
Sa mga nagsasabing may sakit po siya, wala talagang, huwag kayo mag-alala. Tulungan niya lang kami, wala talagang mahanap na sakit. Sabi ko nga sa mga bumabati ko sa kanya, hindi yung sakit niya, wala talagang mahanap.
Following reports on his illness, Duterte went on an unscheduled trip to Hong Kong over the weekend with his common-law wife Hanalet Avancenia and their daughter Kitty Veronica. In a post on social media, Special Assistant to the President Bongo said Duterte went to Hong Kong to rest and spend time with his family.
Nagpahinga lang po. Hindi yung siya nag-shopping doon. Nagpahinga lang po talaga siya.
Victor Cosare, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Chief Justice Teresita de Castro bids farewell to her colleagues and court employees a little over a month after she was appointed to the Supreme Court. Maya Bermudez tells us why.
Supreme Court employees paid tribute to Chief Justice Teresita Leonardo de Castro as she attended her last flag-raising ceremony on Monday. De Castro will be retiring on Wednesday, October 10, when she reaches the mandatory retirement age of 70. She served as top magistrate for only a little over a month. A marching band trumpeted the arrival of De Castro as she was welcomed by her fellow magistrates who were all dressed in blue. SC employees were wearing shirts printed with words expressing love and support for the retiring magistrate. A huge banner was hung bearing a message of gratitude to the 24th Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
I will miss all of you. I will miss everyone with whom I worked in the course of my 10 years and 8 months here. With this, I say goodbye to all of you. You have given me much memories to live by the rest of my life.
In her speech, De Castro touted the reforms she has made in the SC, such as the salary increase and overtime pay of stenographers and other SC employees.
We have instituted reforms such as, among others, we have upgraded the salary of our first-level courts in keeping with the heavy responsibility that they perform. We have granted overtime pay not only to the stenographers but also other court employees who are helping in the continuous trial of cases. I've tried my best so that my presence will be most felt, not only by the employees of the court, but also of our judges and justices.
The Judicial and Bar Council has opened the nominations and applications for the Chief Justice post. Automatically nominated to the position are 5 most senior SC magistrates, including Justice Antonio Carpio, Lucas Bersamin, Diosdado Peralta, Mariano del Castillo, and Stella Perlas Bernabe. President Rodrigo Duterte has 90 days to appoint a new Chief Justice. Maya Bermudez, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
PhilHealth Plus claims its first win after handing the Ombudsman Graftbusters its third defeat in the ongoing eliminations of the UNTV Cup Season 7. Meanwhile, the NHA Builders now lead the Group B after narrowly routing the DA Food Masters. Bernard Dadis tells us why.
PhilHealth Plus enters the win column after clobbering the Ombudsman Grandbusters 122-99 during a match at the Pasig City Sports Center on Wednesday. Jonathan Aldape and Mark Edward Pedroso bucketed 29 points each to carry PhilHealth to its first victory of the season. PhilHealth Plus coach Delio Aceron attributes their win to tight defense plays and improved free throw shooting and his players' agility who took advantage of Ombudsman's lack of able players.
Higpitan natin ang depensa, we must control the rebounds para makatakbo kami.
Talagang kulang yung player, saka defensively talagang hindi kami makababa.
In other games, NHA Builders now lead the Group B with 3 wins and 0 losses after narrowly defeating the DA Food Masters 75-73. Antonio Lustestica Jr. is hailed the best player of the game after he bucketed 23 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals.
Nung muli kasi medyo nagpanic yung mga players ko. Hindi nila sinunod yung mga pinag-insayuhan namin. So, nawala yung 25 points na lead namin.
Unang-una na nadepensahan kami. Hindi namin natakbo yung offense namin. Yung defense namin, hindi kami nakakadepensa.
The AFP Cavaliers meanwhile topped the Group A after routing one of its rivals, the PNP Responders 92-82.
It's high time, matagal-tagal na tayo hindi nag-champion. Sabi ko pilitin natin ulit ngayon.
Namayani yung height nila eh. Nakita ko, lalaki talaga.
The Cavaliers was led by Boyet Bautista, who finished 22 points with 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals.
Kailangan namin mag-practice talaga. Huwag kang magkumpiyansa sa laro kahit sino yung kalaban namin, push lang namin.
The AFP shares the top spot with the Senate Defenders with 2 wins and 0 loss record. Bernard Dadis, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Up next on Y News.
Minsan na napapaniwala na sila, no, nasasama sila sa isang grupo, whether it's leftist or not, na isang armed group that go against the government, no. Marami kasi tayong mga reports and experience.
PNP meets with Commission on Higher Education on universities linked to communist rebel recruitment. Schools in Taiwan to teach Filipino language in 2019.
They can expect, aside from seeing all the Filipino acts that live in the States, in California and all of America, to get their own Wish-exclusive videos and to come on the show.
And Wish Bus USA to kick off its pilot episode in Hollywood on Tuesday. And thank you for keeping me company in the first part of Y News. More reasons behind the stories with Thio and Rheena Villamor-Camara after this quick break. I'm Angelo Castro III. Good evening.
Welcome back to Y News. We pick up to where Angelo Castro III left off. I am Thio, and here are the headlines. UNTV exclusive, embassy officials to take action on 21 abandoned Filipino seafarers in India. Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio tags ACT Teachers Party List Davao Chapter a terrorist. And presidential spokesperson Harry Roque takes a leave of absence beginning today. Embassy officials are preparing to visit a group of Filipino seafarers who were left stranded at a port in India. The group's head captain Alexander Apaw also says they were now able to take a sigh of relief after their plight was reported by the UNTV News and Rescue. Jay Alasayo tells us why in this exclusive report.
Vice Consul J.B. Santos will lead a team of embassy officials in New Delhi on Thursday to visit the 21 Filipino seafarers stranded and abandoned at Kikanada port in India. The move is in response to the group's request for rescue and assistance through the help of UNTV network. The officials will check on the condition of the seafarers to assist them with the repatriation process. Foreign Affairs Assistant Secretary El Mercado on Friday said the Department of Foreign Affairs will immediately take action on the matter. After UNTV notified the DFA and aired the report, the group's head Captain Alexander Apau said they were able to make a sigh of relief because their manning agency, EVIC Human Resources Management, pressured by the report, immediately wired money or part of their 4 months withheld salary to their respective families in the Philippines.
Tapos nung Friday, nagpadala yung manning agency ng pera, remittance doon sa mga pamilya. Medyo nagkahinga ng konti sa bayarin yung mga pamilya nila. And then by next week, mayroon daw silang i-remit ulit. Equivalent to 1 month allotment.
When the UNTV News and Rescue team visited the manning agency in Ermita, Manila, a representative confirmed that they already purchased plane tickets for the repatriation of the seafarers, though they refused to be recorded on camera. But according to Captain Apau, they have not been notified on the matter.
Sa ngayon, wala pang natanggap na balita tungkol doon sa aming ticket. Wala pang sinabi yung opisina kung may ticket na ba kami. Kailan kami makauwi. Basta ang information ko doon sa DFA lang na pinaprocess nila yung repatriation.
The seafarers are crew members of MV Evangelia who were abandoned by the shipping company since October 2, 2018 after it went bankrupt. JL Asayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Pasay City.
Meanwhile, former Communications Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson confirmed she will seek an elective position in the 2019 midterm polls. Uson's announcement comes a week after she resigned from the Presidential Communication Operations Office, which she said was a form of sacrifice to pave the way for the approval of the agency's 2019 budget.
Tatakbo na ako. Oo, kasi Kasi kung ako ng ganitong klaseng tao ay sinisiraan ng ganyan, paano na yung mga walang boses? Kaya dapat magkaroon po ng boses ang ordinaryong Pilipino.
Uson also refuted reports that she was fired by the president prior to her resignation announcement. Some of the official candidates of the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas were formally introduced this morning, although their senatorial slate is not yet complete. The chairmanship of the party list is offered to President Rodrigo Duterte. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
Partido Federal ng Pilipinas is now an official national political party in the Philippines based on the COMELEC resolution dated October 5, 2018. PFP considers this a triumph and started to go full blast in preparing for the May 2019 midterm elections. Earlier today, Attorney George Briones, the PFP General Counsel, formally announced the officials who will run under their party. PFP NCR Chairman Joy Belmonte will run as mayor for Quezon City next year. Notable candidates of the PFP for governor are former Governor E.R. Ejercito in Laguna, Congressman Reynaldo Umali in Oriental Mindoro, and Department of Tourism Assistant Secretary Daniel Mercado in Zamboanga del Sur. Though not present in the event, gubernatorial candidates also include TESDA Director General Giling Mamundyong in Lanao del Sur, Governor Pax Magudadato in Sultan Kudarat, and Governor Dodo Mandanas in Batangas. He will step down as president of the party, and Department of Agrarian Reform or DAR Secretary John Castriciones will succeed his position. Secretary Castriciones states that as of now, only Attorney Hinlo is their official senatorial candidate. He added that they possibly will not be able to complete the 12 posts for the senatorial slate.
I'm intending to adopt some senatorial candidates, and we are now in the process of evaluating those senatorial candidates, most especially those who are very supportive of the president, and of course, who are believers, ardent believers of federalism.
Secretary Castro also said that there are 40 to 50 personalities who manifested their desire to be included in the lineup of the party's congressional posts. The PFP will form a coalition with the Hugpong ng Pagbabago or Faction for Change Party of Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte. PFP's plan to coalesce with PDP Laban is put on hold as there are two factions in the party between Senator Aquilino Pimentel III and Attorney Rogelio Garcia, who was a classmate of President Duterte in law school.
Siyempre, nag-aagawan sila. PDP, yun daw ang partido ni Presidente. Pero kung tutuusin mo, paano magiging partido ng Presidente? Kasi PDP is synonymous to the Pimentels. And even history will tell us.
According to Secretary Castrejones, they plan to invite President Duterte to accept the chairmanship of the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas.
And if the President so accedes to our invitation, then definitely we will make the formal offer.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV, News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio calls the Davao chapter of the Alliance of Concerned Teachers party list as terrorist and sympathizers of terrorist groups, following the group's claim that Davao City did not give allowance to public school teachers. Grace Casin tells us why.
The Davao chapter of the Alliance of Concerned Teachers Act party list claimed in its social media posts that the city government of Davao was not giving any subsidy to teachers, unlike other cities in the country. ACT Teachers Party List Representative Antonio Thio also named the cities giving such benefits, including Makati, Marikina, Bacolod, Cebu, Cagayan de Oro, and General Santos cities.
Davao na lang ang hindi pa rin nagbibigay hanggang ngayon. So, hindi bago to, matagal na to, dekada na yan na nangyayari.
But Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio refutes the claim of the group. In its statement posted on her social media account, the mayor called the group as terrorists, sympathizers of terrorists, and liars. As she said that the city gave checks worth 2,000 pesos each in 2016 and 2017 to all teaching and non-teaching personnel of DepEd. She added that she can provide copies of the budget, distribution and liquidation with all their signatures.
Pananakot ito, harassment at naglalagay sa panganib sa mga guro natin. No, alam naman natin na may mga kaso na pag tinatawag na terorista, nagiging biktima ng pagdakip, extrajudicial killing, and so on.
The lawmaker admits there is no existing law which states that teachers should be given local allowance. However, he notes that if other big cities are doing this, Davao City can also give allowances to teachers. Mayor Duterte also called for the expulsion of the Makabayan bloc from the House of Representatives, saying the party list system is the milking cow of terrorists. But Thio says,
pareho sila ng AFP, lalo na dito sa pagpapalaganap nila nung fake news na Red October. No, dyan patungo yan.
Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
The Philippine National Police or PNP meets with the Commission on Higher Education or CHED over the issue on the so-called Red October movement. The Armed Forces of the Philippines meanwhile releases the names of some students who were allegedly killed after joining the New People's Army. Robbie De Guzman tells us why.
National Capital Region Police Office Chief Police Director Guillermo Eleazar has met with Commission on Higher Education Officer in Charge Prospero de Vera III on Saturday, October 5, over the issue on the so-called Red October movement. The two officials discussed matters concerning the alleged recruitment of the New People's Army of tertiary students to join the ouster plot against President Rodrigo Duterte based on intelligence report gathered by the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Eleazar said he was ordered by Police Chief Director General Oscar Albayalde to convene management representatives of the 18 schools tagged as recruitment grounds of rebels, especially those located in Metro Manila. De Vera, on his part, promised to consult with the presidents and administrators of the said schools to set a dialogue between them and the PNP.
Our consultation with CHED, Ang sinabi naman natin siya, ang intention niya is makipag-ugnayan din sa iba't ibang mga presidents and authorities ng mga universities, not only here in Metro Manila, hindi limited doon sa 18, kung hindi pati na rin sa ibang rehiyon.
Albayalde meanwhile calls on educators not to abuse the academic freedom and to refrain from teaching radicalism among students.
Kung minsan na napapaniwala na sila, no, nasasama sila sa isang grupo, whether it's leftist or not, na isang armed group that go against the government, no. Marami kasi tayong mga reports and na-experience and mga na-encounter before. Kawawa yung mga bata at an early age of 21, 22, na-encuentro sila ng military.
The AFP meanwhile released the photos of some students who allegedly died after joining the NPA to back its claims of massive rebel recruitment in schools. This is after they released a video last Friday that includes a message from the communist rebels urging youth leaders to recruit more to strengthen the NPA force. The military also maintains they are not trying to curtail the public's freedom of expression, but are only warning students against joining the Communist Party.
Yung mag-express sila ng sentiments nila, okay yun, walang problema yun. But wag na itong mga NPA. Sumabay sila sa opposition kung gusto nila. If they agree with the issues na riniraise ng opposition, okay lang yun. It's part of the democratic process.
Robbie De Guzman, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Meanwhile, presidential spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque has canceled his supposed press briefing at the Malacanang for the rest of the week. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque has taken a leave of absence beginning Monday. Based on an advisory forwarded to palace reporters, Roque has canceled his supposed press briefing today at Malacanang and for the rest of the week. No reason was cited for his leave, which comes after the palace official pondered on whether to run in the 2019 midterm polls or accept a new government position. Roque has announced Friday that he will be spending the whole weekend to think things through before making a decision. Special Assistant to the President Bongo says the President has not been informed yet on Roque's leave of absence, but he contacted the official who confirmed his attendance to the cabinet meeting today.
Sa ngayon, hindi pa yata. Maybe mamaya malalaman na niya. Nakausap ko si Secretary Roque an hour ago. Sabi niya, he will attend the cabinet meeting and meeting with the two ambassadors.
Prior to Roque's leave of absence, the palace official was lamenting his current function after he was kept uninformed of the president's visit to a hospital on Wednesday for some medical test. Last Saturday, he was also not informed about the whereabouts of the president. Roque said he was in Davao City when in fact, the president was in Hong Kong with his family. According to Communications Secretary Martin Andanar, Roque was offered the post of the still-to-be-revived Office of the Press Secretary following his proposal to dissolve the Presidential Communications Operations Office. Secretary Andanar says he is willing to step aside for the betterment of the communications arm of the Office of the President. Andanar also reveals he is among those who are convincing Roque to postpone his senatorial bid.
At isa nga ako sa mga nagko-convince sa kanya na wag nang tumuloy, meron pa naman 2022.
The Communications Secretary is not yet sure if he will be appointed to other positions, but he expressed willingness to help the Duterte administration in whatever capacity. Rosalie Cos, UNTV, News and Rescue, Malacanang.
And in other news, schools in Taiwan will teach Filipino and other Asian languages beginning next year. Meanwhile, a mobile library that targets to help immigrants pops up in northern Taiwan. Amiel Pascual tells us why.
The Taiwan government has started working on creating language learning materials to include Filipino and 6 other Southeast Asian languages into its 12-year compulsory education system. According to the Ministry of Education, it has begun the first phase of editing of digital textbooks and other relevant learning materials in response to the implementation of a new immigrant language course starting next year. This is in time with a new curriculum wherein students in elementary schools will be required to choose a language elective. a native language or new immigrant language, which they need to take up once per week. Aside from Filipino, the other languages included in the program are Indonesian, Vietnamese, Malaysian, Burmese, Cambodian, and Thai. As of 2018, Taiwan has more than 500,000 immigrants, about 200,000 of which are elementary and junior high school students with new immigrant parents. Meanwhile, a mobile library that carries books about Southeast Asian countries pops up in northern Taiwan. According to its owner, Lin Chun, his mobile library consists of books printed in Filipino, Indonesian, Vietnamese, Malaysian, Cambodian, and Thai. Lin says some of the books came from his own library, others were bought using his own money, while the rest were collected with the help of his friends in 2017. He says he decided to open a traveling library because he wanted new immigrants in Taiwan to learn about their homelands and their mother tongues.
Originally, I have a bookstore in Hsinchu City, and I found that there are many women who work in Taiwan and some married here and give birth to new generation. But their children speak Chinese or Taiwanese. I hope their kids can learn their mother tongue.
Saya pikir ini ide yang sangat bagus sekali.
I think it's a great idea, but there's a lot of migrant workers in Taiwan who need a lot of information and books for them to read.
Informasi memerlukan buku-buku untuk mereka baca.
I am married to a Taiwanese. Of course, I have 2 kids. Yeah, so parang nagiging mas accessible yung lingwahe natin and hindi nagiging strange.
Amiel Pascual, UNTV News and Rescue, Taiwan.
The iconic Wish Bus is all set for its much-awaited debut in Hollywood. Leslie Longbowen tells us why.
Wishbus USA team has been doing technical testing with resident DJ Robin Rivera for the much-awaited debut of the roving music hub in the streets of Los Angeles, California. The iconic Wishbus will hit the Hollywood and Sunset Boulevards on October 8 local time. According to DJ Robin, aside from Filipinos, the Wish Bus will also welcome local artists from across the United States to sing on board for the music to be heard and have their Wish-exclusive videos seen on YouTube.
They can expect, aside from seeing all the Filipino acts that live in the States, in California and all of America, to get their own Wish-exclusive videos and to come on the show, we're also going to find international acts, local people from here to come on the bus. Anyone is invited on the bus as long as they sing their own songs and bring their own flavor to it. But everyone's invited. So you're going to get a bigger variety of genres, people and personalities on this bus.
The Filipino original Wish Bus is equipped with state-of-the-art audio and video facilities, an all-automatic technical room, and installed with high-definition cameras in all angles for that superb audio and video quality. The driver's pit also has a camera so that the DJ will be able to talk to the driver while on live broadcast as they travel through tourist destinations in a specific location. To add to the excitement, DJ Robin says the Wish Bus has a lot more surprises in store as it hit the road, starting with California and hopefully across states.
But the thing that we're going to do that's different is we're going to do new things that are not Wish-exclusive videos and that promote more music and show the lifestyle of California more than anything else. That's going to be a surprise. That's going to be something that we're all going to talk about here on the bus. But that's going to be something we're looking forward to doing.
The Wish Bus will have Filipino balladeer Christian Bautista and Los Angeles YouTube singing sensation Teresita on board as the first feature artists for the iconic bus pilot broadcasts at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The Wish Bus official daily live airing will start at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 a.m. in the Philippines, up to 12 midnight in California. Wish Bus performances will be viewed on its YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/wish1075live. Leslie Lomboan, UNTV News and Rescue.
And those are the reasons behind the stories in the second part of our newscast. Y News returns with Rheena Villamor-Camara. I am William Thio. Good evening.